We say goodbye to a screen legend. Carl Weathers has passed away, and we say hello to a lot more on screen deaths, at least. It's good to see you, folks. I'm Israel Wright, and this is your First Formation. Saying goodbye to an on screen legend. Ladies and gentlemen, I am sad to inform you that last week, the actor Carl Weathers passed away at the age of 76. And it's always interesting to me, the connection we feel with actors when they pass away, because I didn't know Carl Weathers personally, and yet I felt connected to him because I grew up watching his movies. And so for that reason, he made an impact on my life in some small way from the roles that he played. And so when I heard of him passing away, you feel like you kind of lost somebody that you knew. Some of us feel it maybe a little more acutely than others, because I guess that's just the power of pop culture and entertainment. It molds and shapes our lives in some ways. So when these actors and actresses pass on, we feel it. And so I would like to take some time to pay special tribute to Carl Weathers by going over my favorite top 5 Carl Weathers roles. Coming up at number 5, Chubbs from Happy Gilmore.
You have no idea who I am, do you?
No, I don't.
Back in 1965, Sports Illustrated said I was going to be the next Arnold Palmer.
Yeah, what happened?
They wouldn't let me play on the Pro Tour anymore.
Oh, I'm sorry. Because you're black?
Hell no. Damn alligator bit my hand off.
Oh, my God!
Now, I love Happy Gilmore. It's one of those all-time great comedy movies, Adam Sandler comedies, where he's Happy Gilmore. He decides to play golf to try to save his grandmother's house. It's just a really pure-hearted story, and Chubbs plays his mentor, and I love the character of Chubbs. I love Carl Weathers' performances because of his charisma. There's something about him that is just very, kind of makes you feel comfortable around him. He's got that affable nature. He's charismatic. He's electric on screen. And so he's got the great bit where he's got the one hand that was eaten by the alligator, and then Adam Sandler gets the alligator for him, and that scares him so much that he falls down and he gets ran over or something like that. He gets hit by a truck, and and then later on he's in heaven. You see him and he's like, "Don't you worry about me, Happy. I got my hand back." And things we've only just begun. But I love Carl Weathers in that role. I think it fit him perfectly as the mentor. So number 5, Chubbs from Happy Gilmore. Number 4, 3, and 2 are all Apollo Creed.
Well, how are you going to do that? You taught me everything you know.
Almost everything. You got to remember now, you fight great, but I'm a great fighter. Huh? You ready?
Oh, absolutely.
All right. You know, Stallion, it's too bad we got to get old, huh?
Just keep punching, Apollo. Want to ring the bell?
All right. Ding, ding.
All right, in order, Rocky 4, Rocky 3, and Rocky number 1. I don't remember anything about Rocky number 2. I guess it was exactly the same story, only this time Rocky 1 in the end. So let me tell you why. Let me just paint a picture for you. I'm 5 years old. My parents take me to a movie. Anything with violence is okay as long as there were no boobs in it. But they take me to see Rocky 4. I'm 5 years old, and I cried when Apollo died, when he got beaten to death by Ivan Drago in Rocky 4. What did I say? I was 5 years old as Rocky 4. Yeah. I cried. I was very affected by the American getting killed by the Russian, because I'm a patriot from way back. I was a patriot in the 80s, back before being a patriotic American would get you on the FBI's most wanted list. And so when Apollo died, I cried. I was very, very sad. And so, of course, at the end of the movie, I totally wanted Rocky to beat Ivan Drago. But then I was overcome with the sense of, if I can change, then you can change, we can change. And apparently we can't change. So it's a nice sentiment, but sorry, Rocky 4. But yes, that was my first Rocky movie, was Rocky 4. And then Rocky 3, I saw a little bit later on. I liked it because I was a big fan of Mr. T, so Clubber Lang, right? Yeah. But Apollo's the friend. He's the mentor. Again, as with Chubbs, all right? A little foreshadowing of Chubbs in Happy Gilmore. He's the mentor. He helps Rocky get back on top, and they run on the beach in that totally not homoerotic scene where they're running on the beach next to each other and hugging and jumping together. And it made me feel, you know what? It made me feel very secure in my sexuality. Up next, Rocky 1. This is the classic. This is the OG. There's something about Apollo Creed. There's something about Carl Weathers' performance in this movie that really, even though he's the bad guy, you can't totally hate him. You respect him. Like, he's the successful guy. He knows the game of promotion and show business. And so he arrogantly gives the down and out Rocky a chance at the title. And he regrets it, because Rocky goes all 15 rounds and he doesn't end up winning, but he gains something a lot more valuable, and that is respect. And what a great role that Carl Weathers got to do for 3 more movies before he died. And then good old Michael B. Jordan gets to take the name and run with it later on. So good for him for carrying on the legacy. My number 1 pick for my favorite Carl Weathers roles is, of course, you guessed it, you know it. If you've listened to the podcast for any length of time, you know that I'm going to pick you son of a bitch, Dylan. Yes, that's right, Dylan from Predator.
So why don't you use the regular army? What do you need us for? Because some damn fool accused you of being the best. Dylan! You son of a bitch. What's the matter? The CIA got you pushing too many pencils? Huh?
That hand clap, that meeting, that's the most epic, the most manly, the most testosterone-soaked hand clap in all of cinema history. Everybody knows that. Even if you've never seen it, you've seen the memes that have come with it. And it's iconic. It's an iconic moment created by 2 iconic, masculine, manly 80s action heroes, Arnold Schwarzenegger and Carl Weathers. Carl Weathers was in his prime, and Carl Weathers was freaking built, man. He really gave, you saw that shirtless scene when they're making the traps for the Predator. He's pulling on that rope, and you can see his muscles. And it just made me feel very secure in my masculinity. But he has a great arc in this movie. Dylan is a great character, right? He's an old friend of Dutch's. They go in together, and he misleads them. He lies to them about the whole nature of the operation. And then he breaks trust. You know, he's like, I grew up, why don't you? Or I woke up, he says. He's like, Dylan, you used to be somebody I can trust. And he's like, I woke up, why don't you? And then later on, he's trying to build himself back into the good graces. He's trying to redeem himself. So it's a bit of a redemption arc when he goes to try to help Bill Duke attack the Predator, and it doesn't go well for him, but he goes out like a man. He's got the twin MP5s, and he gets his arm blasted off, and he still tries. He sees the Predator coming in slow motion, tries to get the MP5 on him, and he gets sliced in the stomach, and he gives that manly, that yell at the end. Great character arc for Dylan. So rest in peace, Carl Weathers. From all of us here at the Pop Culture Field Manual podcast, thank you for all the memories. Rest in peace, my friend. Up next, Caveman versus something in Out of Darkness.
We had to run. لو كتكوت ببلك النفسن كوكورد أفسن.
Out of Darkness is coming to theaters this Friday. It's 43,000 BC. It's a bunch of cavemen coming to a new land, and there is something in the woods. The trailer doesn't give too much away. They're kind of running around. They're suspicious. They're discovering certain, like dead woolly mammoth, and you don't really know what's out there in the darkness stalking them. And so I just want to make this. It's not a prediction. It's a caution. Here's what I hope isn't the case. I just hope that the ultimate bad guy is not white people. All right. I'm just going to put that out there. All right. Given the current cultural moment, all right, the trailer is just vague enough to where you think it's a monster, but usually the twist with something like this is that it's just people. It's just some, it's like the 13th Warrior. They thought it was a monster. It was just a bunch of cavemen dudes that were, out there causing trouble for the Vikings. I don't know, man. I don't know. Just something about it given the current cultural moment. It's like, if it's just a bunch of white guys, like colonial, whatever, I don't know. It's 43,000 BC, so it's probably not colonial people. But if it's just a bunch of white dudes or whatever going around attacking the poor cavemen, then I'm going to be very disappointed. I'm not going to predict it. I hope I'm wrong. Just something about the current cultural moment makes me think that it might be white people. Last up, coming out this Friday, it's Lisa Frankenstein.
You hear that? I'm sure it's the girl next door. She's very odd.
You're him? I can't believe you're here. Do you like music? I have the cure. Oh, not that kind of cure. They can't make you better. I mean, they can, but like emotionally. No, don't cry. Your tears smell so bad.
This looks fun. It's written by Diablo Cody, who is, I love her witty writing. She has very quirky writing. She has great female characters, and this looks like a classic take on the Frankenstein story. She's a gothy teen who is in love with the dead guy, and then something magically happens. He comes to life, and he's kind of an old Elizabethan. He's got the long, sideburns there, and then they fall in love, and she, I guess, is rejuvenating him by killing other people. They go out on a murdering spree, and then he takes their body parts, and then he kind of slowly, it looks like he gets rejuvenated as he takes life. So looks fun, looks quirky. I like the main actress that's in it, and it looks like it's got Carla Gugino in it. It's got some 80s vibes, which is always a plus for me. I'm always instantly on board. I see blue and pink neon. I get the 80s vibes, a little bit of the almost like a Heathers kind of thing going on. It's a dark comedy, and I need something like that. I feel like life is pretty tough right now. There's a lot of bad things going on in the world, and it seems like an undead comedy horror romance movie is just what my soul needs right now. So Lisa Frankenstein coming out Friday. I don't know, what do you think? Is it gonna be any good? I like Diablo Cody. So that's it, folks. That is the first formation. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments what you think about what's going on in the world today. Check out the debrief with Cameron every Friday. We got bunch more great content for you. You can check out the Iz Files, which is my horror gaming channel, but just don't tell anybody. Actually, tell everybody about my horror gaming channel. I'm Israel Wright. We'll see you next time on The First Formation.